Story time was supposed to be not in my bed, but my body said, lay down, child. So I laid down. But I just wanted to let y'all know that our hardened heart cannot get you anywhere in life, spiritually or mentally, or whatever case may be. I used to have a hardened heart. I didn't even realize it until I went to Tuesday night prayer a week ago. He was talking about having a hardening heart, and so I went on Google. I looked it up and I said biblically, what is a hardened heart? And the example that they used was when Jesus told Pharaoh, let my people go. Pharaoh was like, no, I'm not letting your people go. So he hardened his heart in the most craziest way, but his son died and everything like that just because he would not let God's people go, or whatever the case may be. And so Pharaoh eventually got the point and he let his people go. And it made me think about how my heart was hardened, and I didn't even realize it until, I started getting back in church, reading the word and stuff like that. And so, like, there's a lot of church hurt that goes around, family hurt, job hurt, all type of hurt, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes you can get so bitter and not even realize it, that you end up just going around treating people how you were treated. And so then, the saying is hurt people hurt people. So basically, it's people who have hardened hearts and don't look for God for the answer and to ask him to soften your heart, or whatever the case may be. So I was like, okay. And then I would consider her a mentor. Like, you know how you have a mentor and they don't know they're your mentor? Well, this is one of them instances, or whatever the case may be. She's walked me through baptism, walked me through just different things in my life that I've been going through since I've started my spiritual journey with God, or whatever the case may be. And so recently she had told me you need to join connect groups. It's like at Social Dials, we have connect groups. We basically get together. We have stuff that we're talking about. We have things that we're talking about. And I'm a part of a group about generosity. And so, you always think that I don't need to know about no generosity. So my mind was blown last night because the first connect group was last night. Your girl literally drove an hour away. I stay in Dallas, Texas. So I literally drove to past like Denton and UNT. That was like a whole hour. And, at first God convicted me talking about, I was like, I'm not driving no hour for no connect group, or whatever case may be. Well, hold on, let me go back a little bit. So basically, my mentor actually said you need to be a part of connect groups, and I was like, no, I don't want to. And the other connect groups didn't go good, or whatever case may be. But this connect group actually was good because my mentor, her and her husband, were actually ones that was hosting it. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I don't know. So fast forward where I was at talking about that I drove an hour. And God was like, you can't drive an hour, but you drove an hour to see whoop de woo de woo back in the day when you was out in these streets, or whatever case. And I was like, that is true. And I was like, okay, I'm going to drive an hour. I'm going to see what the connect group was about. I love my mentor to death, or whatever the case may be. And I went and my mind was blown. It was like a co-ed or whatever. Married couples, singles, and young people and older people, whatever case may be. It's just so crazy how if you are a part of the right community, your heart starts to soften up so much more. Like all that hurt that you ever experienced, it goes out the door when you're around sincere, genuine, like-minded, and God-fearing individuals, or whatever the case may be. So I just really am like, thank you, Jesus. Like, thank you for fixing my vision. Like, I thought my vision was fixed back then. It was not fixed. It was kind of like in between being fixed. But now I have a fixed vision of from a godly standpoint instead of a worldly, or whatever case may be. So it basically, generosity is basically like you actually walking in, knowing where you are at, and you being able to get your heart softened by being around individuals who are on the same page as you, and them showing you that they have also went through hurt, and you're learning from them, and you learn from them, or whatever the case may be. So I think of a generosity not about what you can do with money or anything. Sometimes it's just like you just being in the midst of people who believe in Jesus, or whatever the case may be. So like basically my heart is being softening, and I don't know who is out there who has a hardened heart, but find a community that can help you soften your heart, bring things to realization, and always get into that word. Like, get into that word. That word is something crazy and just something amazing, or whatever the case may be. But stop sleeping on the Bible. Read the Bible for yourself. It being fed is one of the most amazing thing as being a new Christian, because it just be like, what Pinterest mean? What did they say? No, what did God say, or whatever the case may be. So basically that was my story time about how I got my mind blown, how my heart is softening, how I look at generosity a little different, or whatever the case may be, and just being a part of a community that finally, once they see you for who you are and you see them for who they are, and you ready to grow. So if you want to grow, you gonna get in the church. You gonna get to know God, and you gonna make sure that where you are at, you are being fed. All right. Peace. Y'all have a great weekend, and happy November 1st.